Module 4, Part 3. In this final tutorial, we will discuss how to set up a landmark, add vehicles into a group, provide Subaccount access to other users, and browse through the Help menu. We will begin with landmarks. Adding a landmark allows you to rename an address so you can quickly and easily distinguish a location. Customers can use this feature to save employee addresses, customer addresses, or any frequently visited locations. Under the Landmark tab, you can view, add, import, and export. To add a landmark, click Add, and you will want to add a landmark, first enter in a name. Let's say, for example, I wanted to add a nearby Home Depot that we pick up supplies from. I would name the landmark Home Depot. I could put in a phone number if I had one. For the address, you can either select to use a latitude and longitude, or you can put in a physical address. I want to put in a physical address, so I will uncheck Use Lat and Long and put in the street address. Next, I will choose the radius, which is the size of my landmark. I can choose small, medium, or large. I'll keep it on medium. And I can also change the text color, label color, and the icon. When you're finished, hit Save, and then click OK. By going back to landmarks and clicking on View, that will allow me to either modify, delete, or filter by any landmarks. If I needed to modify my current landmark of Home Depot, I would click Modify, make my adjustments, and then hit Save again. I won't spend a lot of time on importing and exporting landmarks, but you can import landmarks from an Excel file into our system, and you can also export landmarks from our system into an Excel file. The instructions on how to do so can be found on both the Help menu and the Reseller portal. Next, we will look at our Group tab. Our Group menu allows you to add vehicles into a group. A lot of our customers use this feature if they have different divisions. Click Add from the drop-down. The first step will be to name the group. In this case, I want to add a group called West Coast Division. After I add that group, I will then need to select vehicles to belong to that group. So from the Group drop-down, I will select Associate Vehicles with Group. I will use a down arrow next to Group Name to find West Coast Division, and I will then check the vehicles that should belong to that group. And it shows me that the group has been saved. You can have the same vehicle belonging to multiple groups. So if I wanted M05 to also belong to Amanda's group, I would click Amanda and check the box next to M05 and then save my changes. You can view a list of your group names by selecting View from the drop-down. If you need to modify or delete any of these groups, you can do so from this tab. You can also access the View by Vehicle for an easy breakdown of the list of vehicles and the groups they belong to. So here, for example, you can see that device number 3 belongs to the group Link, Escobar, Nunn, and Bernard. If you would like to give other users access to your account, you can set them up with a subaccount. So go to the Subaccount drop-down and click Add. Fill in the name, if you have the phone number, you can also do so. The login must be an email address format. The password should be at least 5 characters and should be a mix of letters and numbers. If you want to give them a PIN, that would give them a PIN number to access our IVR, which is our integrated voice recognition system. You can control the level of access for your account. If you click Full Permissions, then they can view the features and tabs that you would see on your main account, except for the group and landmark. If you don't want them to view, you can go ahead and uncheck the Full Permissions box, and that will limit their access. If you want the user to have access to all the vehicles in your account, then you would want to select All next to Group. If they should only have access to certain vehicles, then choose the group of vehicles that pertain to them. In this case, we will select Group Amanda. And lastly, make sure the time zone pertains to that user's time zone. So for me, I'm in Pacific time. That's what I would select. And then I'll hit Save. You can select View from the Subaccount drop-down to filter, delete, or modify any existing account. The last thing we will go over is the Help menu. So from the Help menu drop-down, you can select Content, and the contents will bring you into the user guide. From here you can scroll through, or you can quickly reference a section by clicking on the underlined shortcut. So for example, I will show you how to import a landmark by clicking on the landmark shortcut, and we can scroll down to Import Landmark, and it will show you here how to do so. When you're finished with the user guide, you can X out to bring you back to your main account. Well, that concludes our training for Module 4, Part 3.